All right, yesterday Joe Biden walked into a Medal of Honor ceremony with a mask on. Then he took it off before getting right in the face of an elderly war hero. Today, Biden said this.
They keep telling me because this has to be 10 days or something, I got to keep wearing it, but don't tell them I didn't have it on when I walked in.
So the media begin to ramp up hysteria all over again. The real question becomes, will anybody actually comply with any possible mandates?
Craziness is coming back. With cases on the rise, many are now calling for a return to mask mandates and more boosters. The question is, this time around, will Americans comply?
I'm not doing it. Well, they just want to keep on going back and trying to rule the world.
You know what? I'm fighting it. I'm not doing it. It didn't go anywhere the first time. Didn't help.
I follow the science. If they say that's the best thing to do, and then if I'm out in public, that's what I'll do.
When all this stuff started, I was terrified. But now it's like, you know, I've had so many things put in me. Wow, that sounds wrong.
Have you heard? COVID's back just in time for election season.
Don't worry about it. Just get on with life.
Mainstream media is really pumping this up.
Well, I don't have enough money to be able to answer that question. It's the ones with the money that understands what's going on right now.
What's more dangerous, the hype and the fear around the virus or the virus itself?
The fear. The fear.
Why are you still wearing a mask?
Because out.
You don't have it up above your nose and in your mouth.
Because right now it's a chin strap, because I used to play football.
Got it. In New York, for Newsmax, I'm Mike Carter.
So now you've got Joe Biden wearing a mask. Biden walked into a Medal of Honor ceremony with the mask on yesterday, and then he took it off right before he breathed all over a very old war hero.
Since the president was with the First Lady yesterday, he will be masking while indoors and around people in alignment with CDC guidance. And as has been the practice in the past, the president will remove his mask when sufficiently distanced from others indoors and while outside as well.
If they're worried about anything, that's the moment when you have the mask on. What exactly is the messaging here on masks from these people? They have no idea what they're doing. You know they'd love another pandemic panic. You know they'd love rules next fall when we happen to have another presidential election. NBC News publishing this article today. All signs point to a rise in hospitalizations, deaths, and wastewater data, among other indicators, are all increasing as the U.S. heads into fall. Stir the pot, NBC. You do it so well. Monica Crowley joins us now, along with Dr. Frank Contessessa, a board-certified internist. To you both, thank you for coming on. My question is, we all feel like they're going to try and do this again.
Well, I think they are going to try to do it. It's up to us to use common sense. You know, watching the president, walk in with the mask, and then he had the mask off, kind of reminded me of the ridiculous arbitrary rules.
Yes.
I went through first time in New York City, and you walked into a restaurant, you had the mask on. You sit at your table, you take the mask off. You got to go to the bathroom, put the mask back on. Solid data, study after study, including the Cochrane Review, undeniably say that the masks made no difference at all. So we're going to let them do this to us again? I don't think people are willing to do it. And the package that you just played showed that even in New York City, people aren't going to buy it anymore.
Monica, your thoughts?
I was in a New York City drugstore this morning, and I would say about half of the patrons were wearing masks. There was a long line at the pharmacy, and every question was, when is the new booster coming out? When can I get the new booster? So at least in deep blue New York City, there are a lot of people who are willing to stick their arm out again, get the experiment, wearing masks and the rest. I think it really does depend on what part of the country you're in. Right. I think deep blue areas that were hit hardest and we're used to lockdowns and forced masking and forced mandates and injections and everything else are more willing to go down this road than, say, people who live in Florida or Texas who had more freedom during the first go-around. It was all theater. It was never grounded in science. I'm not saying the consequences weren't real, but the entire handling of this from the beginning was a fraud.